Hey everyone, welcome to Counseling 606, your second Theories and Techniques course in the program. I'm excited to have all of you back again for this semester, and I hope you all had a good summer. I missed you. I didn't teach at all this past summer. If you're wondering where I was working on my grant with Dr. Glenn, which was great, and we made a lot of progress, but it was a little strange not getting to talk to any of you throughout the summer. So hope everybody is doing well, all things considered, that you're taking some time to care for yourselves, and that you maybe got a little bit of a break before entering into this fall semester. You know, there are some good things about this semester. One, this class doesn't require you, or wouldn't have required you anyway, to be on campus, so we don't have to worry about that. That's good. And, you know, two, I don't think there's many modifications, if any, to any of the coursework that you would have to be doing for this class, which is good and for you all as well. So to start, I just wanted to take a little bit of time to go over the syllabus, highlight a couple of things as we go along. You'll notice that there is a discussion post for this quote-unquote week for your first module for the next couple of days, and within module 1 I do have chapter 1 as an assigned reading. I also, if you look at module 2, have chapter 1 assigned reading in module 2. So because of the changes to our fall schedule from the university, and because I think the way the weeks would have worked out anyway, I had to condense a lot of stuff into a shorter amount of time, and so we are going to kind of hit the ground running to a degree. But you know, if you were watching this and you didn't get into the course until you know, still we are technically in module 2, that's fine. You know, I don't want to add any pressure to you guys as we start a new semester. So you'll have, you know, plenty of time to read those first 3 chapters. I know it's a lot. But again, you know, first chapters of any text are just kind of an introduction to the text itself. So I hope everybody has been able to get their textbook, the Corey textbook. I think it's a great book. We'll be referencing and using it throughout the semester. We're going to cover all of the chapters except for the couples and family chapter, and the reason for that is because you guys have a full class on couples and family counseling that will delve deeper than I ever could into the different theoretical perspectives and orientations that are used whenever somebody is working with a couple or working with a family. So, you know, again, just get in there, introduce yourselves with our first discussion post. Take some time, if you haven't already, to look over the syllabus, read it thoroughly. Hopefully a lot of your questions will be answered in the syllabus, and most importantly, to pull up the course schedule, because there are a lot of things to keep track of in this class, and that course schedule, I hope, provides a nice little outline for you guys that will keep you on track as we progress. So moving on to the syllabus itself, syllabus statements are kind of the same as they always are. I want to highlight that we do have the COVID syllabus statement as an addition this semester. And so, you know, some of it will sound like it doesn't apply because you guys are online anyway, but, you know, the university has been sending out emails quite frequently, right, to all of us. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you need anything from me, please let me know. And as far as the assignments are required, okay, so the assessment methods are on page 4 of the syllabus. That's where they start. And so we're going to have a number of discussion posts that are going to focus on each of the theoretical orientations that we talk about week to week in this class. So the big difference between Counseling 501 and 606 is that in 501 we put a lot of emphasis on micro skills, developing those basic skills that you need to have as a counselor. And so maybe it feels like you're a little bit out of practice, not having you know, done any role plays or anything like that over the summer, though depending on the class that you took, you should have been doing a little bit of that. You know, in 606, we're using all of those micro skills, okay? So, you know, yeah, there's going to be leniency in terms of understanding in those first counseling sessions that I'm going to be watching of you guys, that you're going to be kind of refreshing those skills. But more importantly, we're going to be really delving into the theoretical evidence-based practices, the orientations to counseling that all counselors should be considering when they're working with clients. regardless of age, regardless of ability status, regardless of population. I will not stress this enough, I don't think, but you'll hear it from me throughout the semester, that you should not be going into a counseling session just thinking, well, we're just going to talk and we're going to see how it works out. So we're going to really be analyzing each theoretical orientation that has been out there and that is currently used. Hopefully I can provide you guys with a good understanding of how some of even the older orientations have been modified and are still being used today. The textbook does have like a video series that goes along with it. I don't use that. I pulled some other ones that you should be able to access, but if you ever have problems with that, just let me know. So there are videos that we'll be watching week to week that will illustrate how counselors, seasoned counselors are using these techniques and these theoretical orientations to the work that they're doing with client populations. So our discussion posts are going to be focusing on that, on your perspective of the theoretical orientation that we're focusing on during that week, how you see yourself using it or not using it down the road. So I hope that we can get into, robust talks about each of these orientations. And I really want you to be thinking as we go through the semester, do you see yourself using that orientation? Do you see yourself reflected in some of the ideas presented by, the counselor or therapist that developed that orientation? Because you have to find a good match between yourself and the techniques and the orientation that you ascribe to later on. So that's the discussion piece of it. We'll have those frequently. Same kind of rules, if you will, apply for discussions, active participation. You don't have to comment on everybody's posts. You can if you want, but you don't have to. At least two to get all the points. I want your responses to be original, follow the guidelines and the questions that I'm asking week to week. The more, I think, a little bit complex, a little bit confusing part are the practice counseling session journal entries, okay? That's the next big assignment. There are 5 journal entries. And so what these are I'm going to be pairing you with somebody else in the class. I have not done that yet if you're watching this in the first week because I want to give everybody a little bit of time to get in the class and settle and make sure nobody is a late addition or decides to drop the class. We don't have one of these due for a couple of weeks, so I will put it out in an announcement who you will be paired up with in the class. Well, what you will be doing is basically taking turns with your peer. Think of this as if you were in class with me. You would be pairing up with somebody, looking at each other face to face and taking turns playing the role of a counselor and client. This, you're just going to be doing it in Zoom or FaceTime or whatever the heck you want to do. You're not recording it. I don't need to see this. What I do need to see is the journal entry piece of it. And so that's where the assignment, you'll be submitting the assignment in a journal format. So drop boxes have been provided for each of those journal entries. There are 5 of them. I spaced them out, I think, pretty well throughout the semester. And so you're just going to be pairing up with the same person as we move along. I may switch things up halfway through the semester, maybe, depending on if I remember to do that or not. But, until you hear different from me, the pair that you're assigned is the pair that you have. And then it's up to you to work with each other, work with your classmates to figure out a time that works best for the both of you to do these mock counseling sessions. I'll leave it to you all. The next assignment, number 3, are video assignments. Those are where you actually are going to be recording mock counseling sessions and submitting them for me to review. Okay, this is similar to what we did in 501, right? Where you're selecting somebody and then you're sitting down and videoing yourself. Super comfortable all the time, right? But the difference this semester, I think, is that, of course, there's going to be a little bit more flexibility on my end. Typically, the requirements would be that it should not be somebody that's a member of your household, and that you're meeting with that individual face to face. With social distancing and the fact that you guys live in different places and different things are happening in different places, by no means am I going to try to say that you have to meet with somebody that's not in your household, in a little space so I can get you on camera. So, you can meet with somebody in your household, or you can do one of these mock counseling sessions on Zoom and record it, on FaceTime and record it. Whatever you feel most comfortable with. The only requirement that I will kind of hold true to is that it cannot be somebody under 18. It's got to be an adult. And lots of different reasons for that. But, you know, I think making those adjustments to this particular assignment should work out for people. Again, this is not something that's due right away, so you should have plenty of time to recruit somebody to either work with you in a virtual type setting, or recruit a member of your household, an adult member of your household to assist you with these 4 videos. I'll get into it later on again, but 20-minute counseling sessions, I really do not want them to go over 20 minutes. There's a lot of you, it adds up after a while, but I do need you to go as close to 20 minutes as possible, or you might see some point deductions come into play if you are giving me like a 10-minute tape. So, and then finally, the theoretical orientation paper, which is due at the end of the semester. So again, this is a 425 page paper that's worth a good amount of points, all things considered, in the total point value for the class. But there's no exams in this class, so hopefully that'll take a little bit of stress off of you as we move through the semester. Rubric will be posted with this. It's going to be due towards the end of the semester, but with plenty of time for me to get things graded. And because of this theoretical orientation paper and the way that it needs to be structured, again, this is kind of the culmination of you learning about all these orientations and then selecting one, maybe 2 if you think you're going to be integrated, or integrating some of these theoretical orientations, or using kind of the eclectic approach. So really, as you go through the chapters and as you go through each module and you're watching the videos that I post and you're having the discussions, kind of keep it in the back of your mind that at the end of the semester, you're going to be selecting some theoretical orientation to be writing about in the final paper. So more about that to come later on, of course. Again, I outlined everything, I think, pretty well in the syllabus. And in the course schedule, print that out, save it, do whatever works best for you, write it down in your calendars. Again, you're going to see some chapter 1 content within module 1. Please don't feel pressure by that. Just, it's a really short PowerPoint presentation. That's a textbook PowerPoint presentation. I think the last thing to mention is that, yeah, you're going to see me weekly. I am going to post videos like I typically do, my little lectures. But with Counseling 606, my theoretical orientation is solution focused. And so I will never come to you in a module, other than maybe the solution focused counseling module, acting as if I'm an expert in how to use psychoanalytic theories, how to use feminist theoretical approaches, because that's not what I have historically used with my clients. That's not my particular orientation. And so that is why I like to supplement my lectures, which are just going to be basic content, related lectures. But that's why I like to supplement that with the videos that are out there. I can track and see if you've looked at the videos. I can't force you to watch them. And I will say that some of the videos that I am posting throughout the semester are a little bit longer, because I want you to see from start to finish for some of them what an actual session looks like when an experienced counselor is using that theoretical orientation. So I encourage you, I hope that you do watch the videos, from the points that I'm telling you to start it and finish it and reflect on those. I can't force it, but these are things that I think are going to be beneficial to you. I put them up for a reason. And also, if you're, going to take a certification exam later down the road, certainly theories is a huge part of those exams. So hopefully this course will prepare you well for that. So with that being said, I also want to highlight my office hours. Not that anybody came and visited me in my office in general, but the way that I'm going to structure them for this semester is on Wednesdays from 10 until 1. It's just going to kind of be open on Zoom if you want to meet with me, if you're able to drop in, if you have questions, whatever it might be. If you need to schedule something outside of that time, that's fine. Just send me a message, let me know what works best, give me a couple of options, and we'll try to work things out. as usual, try to get my grading done on Friday. When it comes to watching the videos, though, it does take me a little bit longer. So, you know, I do like to provide you guys with some good feedback on those videos that you send to me, and so it does take me a little bit longer to get through them. And I think the final thing to wrap it all up that I did want to mention is that I'm expecting my third and final child right now. I'm pregnant and due in December. So what that means is kind of nothing for you guys. The paper that you have and the actual semester will be wrapped up about a week before my due date. So cutting it a little close there. But assuming everything progresses as it has been, which has been typical. There shouldn't be any major issues that come up. I should still be your instructor throughout the rest of the semester, but you know, if something did happen, of course I'd let you know, or Dr. Mambaleo would let you know. So I just did want to make you aware of that, just in case, because you never know. Sometimes babies are unpredictable. So with that being said, I'll let you guys get into you know, your Module 1 discussion and, you know, touch base with each other, and I'll see you again in Module 2.